Okay, welcome back. We're looking at question 10 from page 301. And so we're looking at knowing part of a, we could say the adjacent side, or a base, part of a base, the remote part of a base, and we're going to calculate the height. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a critical look at this. We're going to do we're going to use deductive reasoning for this. So in other words, we're going to come up with a general solution. Okay, let's see how that would work. So if we're going to go with a general solution, we would just say we want the height, we know x, and we know this is a right angle, and we know two angles A and B. Okay, so I think you'll agree straight away that if we could only get this hypotenuse, and it is a hypotenuse because it's a right angle triangle, then height, call this h for height, then that would do us. I mean, then we could jump on and go that big H is equal to h times the sine of A. So this is a useful piece of information. Just the last step is going to be very easy if we can get this. Okay, so what we would like is the opposite angle to x. We'd like this angle, and this angle here is 180 minus A. So we're going to have to work in the abstract in order to make this work, and the total angle in here is 180 subtract these two angles. So let's see how that works. 180 subtract B subtract 180 minus A. Okay, let's just be careful of the expanding the bracket. Okay, and then let's just rearrange that as A minus B. Okay, so what we're looking at now is x with A minus B opposite. Okay, and we have B here. So that's the only information we need to get this. So we're interested in hypotenuse. The hypotenuse over the sine of B is equal to x over the sine of A minus B. Okay, so the hypotenuse is equal to x the sine of B by cross multiplying over the sine of A minus B. And then going for our final step, we're going to multiply this by the sine of A. So we're going to get that so to get h, we're going to take h, we're going to multiply this by the sine of A. And look at that for a beautiful result. The sine of B over the sine of A minus B. Okay, so let's try and digest that. It's telling me that if I want to get this height here, I just take this length, and I just put it in general again. I take this length x, I multiply it by the I multiply it it's a three-way product. That by the sine of that by the sine of that. That by the sine of 32 degrees by the sine of 58 degrees, and I just divide it by the sine of the difference of these two angles. Now the positive absolute difference, but it'll always be this one in here because this one will be bigger than that one. So 58 take 32 is 26 degrees. And I could replace that x there with 12. So there you go, 12 sine 32 degrees sine 58 degrees over the sine of 26 degrees will be your answer. But what's the advantage of doing it this way is you're so much wiser at the end of it. You know so much more. So because next time you see a problem like this, you'll just be able to rattle out the answer. Rather than silly things here now, rather than just soullessly go through making calculation after calculation with no appreciation of the beauty of the underlying maths. Okay, so we're at a massive advantage here, aren't we, guys? Yeah, it's fantastic stuff. Okay, so that's 12.3 meters, and I'm sure that's right. Okay, that was 9 and 10. I'm gonna knock that off now and put it on YouTube for you to look at.